Hey, this channel and its videos are intended for adults only and not for children. No kids allowed. Hey, thank you so much for tuning in. Today we're playing Halo 5 Guardians on the Xbox One X. I think this might be available on the PC, I'm not sure, but a lot of the Xbox exclusives seem to be available on the PC. This is the last Halo game to come out. I think Halo Infinity is the next one to come out, which I think it's going to be available on all Xbox consoles. Like Microsoft is, at least they're starting out with this interesting thing where like there isn't going to be a technically a console exclusive. Like apparently you can play across 3 platforms, whether it's the Xbox One, the Xbox Series X, and then PC. So that'll be interesting. It's really cool. I'm not a fanatic about Halo games because I feel like a lot of people are fanatics with this series, play online. I actually just enjoy the campaign. The first Halo I ever played was Halo 1 on the Xbox. I'm sorry if my voice is shaky. I've had a lot of caffeine. With the state of everything in the world, I'm trying to do my best to battle anxiety. And foolish me, like, I've been drinking a lot of caffeine. Like sometimes when you're nervous, like you do stupid things. Like I obsessively like drink things that comfort me, like coffee, Coke, which is bad because it gives you reflux, and then I don't feel good. I get headaches and reflux, and I'm suffering from allergies. I had to switch from a corticosteroid to Benadryl, which makes me drowsy, which caffeine helps, and you're in this weird balancing loop. But the Benadryl doesn't work as good as the corticosteroid nasal spray, but that was giving me stomach aches, I think because it was out of date. And I'm scared to death to go to the pharmacy unless I absolutely have to. So dealing with all these symptoms, it makes you question everything and makes you nervous. Like when you have generalized anxiety disorder, OCD, and clinical depression, it's not a good match, but I'm pushing myself. So I'm trying to make this video. I don't know when the next video is going to be made. It was so much easier to live stream, but I was going to live stream BioShock Infinite, which is like a comfort food game to me, and it's got me past a lot of shit. That sounds silly, but during hard times in my life, when I've had the game available, that was like one of my go-to games for comfort that got my mind off of shit. Like I can't even begin to tell you, but it's one of those games that like when you're in a bad spot, like for me, that's what I go to. I'm curious if you guys have any comfort food games to get you through times. Even though you played it like 2 billion times, it always feels new. I wanted to play that game because it's comforting, and I wanted to share it with you guys, but apparently YouTube says it's not compatible. Well, when I tried to stream on PlayStation through the actual PlayStation, Twitch could accept it, but I hate the way that Twitch looks, even more so than YouTube, which I think looks terrible. But it said like this application isn't compatible, so I'm wondering if I didn't try any other games, but I'm wondering, since PlayStation's lowered their download speeds a little bit, like if YouTube's doing the same thing. So I couldn't stream the game, which sucks because that would have been easier. So I bit the bullet and said, like, I have one more recording that I did of a game left on my hard drive, and that happened to be Halo 5. I do have Dragon Ball Z Kakarot, but it's really awkward. I die a lot because, I don't know, I'm still figuring out the game. Like, I'm way past, like, I don't know if I'm way past, but I'm past where I left off, but like all I do is die. You don't really get to see a lot of the game, and I don't know if I'll ever use that footage. I don't know when I'll record again. Hopefully it was just BioShock Infinite that wouldn't stream, and I can stream other things because it's so much easier when I'm in the mood, because I can just push the share button, share with you guys. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to make a thumbnail. I don't have to turn on the computer or anything. Just record. That's it. It doesn't look as good. I don't know how good this is going to look. This runs at 60 frames per second. I can force it to run at 60 frames per second, but YouTube compresses everything, and when you put something at 60 frames per second, it looks worse than even the 30 frames per second video. So I'm just going to stick with 30 and hope for the best picture fidelity. I can't describe to you how good this looks on the Xbox One X because it's downgraded to 1080p, and then it's going to be further compressed on YouTube, but it's one of the best Halo looking games. But anyway, as I was saying before, I'm sorry for the breathing. It's just because I've had a lot of caffeine and I'm super anxious and I'm fighting panic attacks like nonstop, so I apologize if I sound like I sound like one of the people on TV that are like suffering from pneumonia. Like, it comes and goes, but it's especially bad when I have caffeine. But I'm also tired at the same time, so I kind of needed to function because Benadryl makes you drowsy. But I'd rather be drowsy than have my stomach feel like somebody's stabbing me in it like the corticosteroid did, because like I said, it's like out of date and it was just irritating everything. It was like burning, which it didn't do before. So anyway, the first Halo I played, it felt like the first real game that was really thought out with, that was first person perspective, that was made for consoles. It was like the most perfect controlling game. I never played a better controlling first person shooter again until I guess like Halo 2, but until maybe like Call of Duty Modern Warfare. That game runs at 60. This runs at 60. So do I think it runs at 60. It feels like it runs at 60. Which is awesome. I don't know how this plays on the Xbox One. I know this is Xbox One X enhanced. Even though it's running at 1080p, it still has like the enhancements. Maybe it's like the frame rate, the texture filtering is a little bit better. I think there's anti-aliasing. I don't know. I'm looking at like a small photo, like a small window of the video while I'm recording this, and it's super choppy when it's playing because I have like other things in the background. And plus it's like a pretty high quality video that's unfortunately going to probably get compressed. But I've always loved the way the Halo game's controlled. I never liked playing online, although online that I did play felt fun. As much as I love the Battlefield series, and I didn't really like the Battlefield series until I guess the spin-off games like Battlefield Bad Company. Why isn't DICE making a third one of those games is beyond me, because that was like the best version of Battlefield in my opinion. A lot of people like the second one. I thought the second one was more thought out, but I don't know. I really like the first one a lot because it's more open. But obviously the second one looks better, and since it's more confined and linear, like the environmental destruction feels a little bit better, but I just liked the more openness of the first game. But then I really became a super fan of the Battlefield series, and Battlefield 3 came out. Like, I didn't really like to play games online, but I played the shit out of that online on console, which I know is way different from the PC version. I know it's a downgraded version. We never got like a decent awesome version on the 7th gen, because I think right now it's the 8th gen and PlayStation 5 is 9th gen. I believe that's the case. But on the PlayStation 3, as good as and amazing as it looked for that system, like you couldn't compare. Like I think you played. It ran at 30 frames per second, and I don't think the frame rate was constant, but it had like that environmental destruction. I think it was 24 players could play against online, and then when Battlefield 4 came out, it's 24 players on the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, and then when I finally got my PlayStation 4, I upgraded, and then it became 64 players. But especially as advanced as the Battlefield games are now, like I know it's controversial, but I do like Battlefield 5. I also like Battlefield 1 a lot, but those games are so graphically intense, like they don't control as smooth as Halo games. Halo games like runs as smooth as butter. I said that like I really push that R there, like I'm from the South, which I guess technically I was born here, but it bothers me because my family's from up north, and I don't know. It just doesn't feel right to talk with a southern twang, even though like that's where I'm from. But I don't know, Richmond's kind of a diverse area because most people came here because they went to school here, so there's not a lot of people originally from Virginia that are Richmond there's not a lot of people in Richmond, which is the capital of Virginia, if you weren't aware. They're not from here. They just went here because of the colleges and stuff like that, and then ended up staying here because they liked it a lot. So this is a really beautiful game. You switch between these people, which I think they're from Halo Reach, or at least one of them is, but they all have like high tier actors. You have like the dude that played Luke Cage, the dude from Firefly, and then I can't remember the guy's name that was on Luke Cage, but I loved that show. It makes me sad that they canceled it, even though they deny it. I think Disney prevented them from making new episodes because they canceled that Daredevil, which was probably the best of the shows in my opinion. I know Iron Fist wasn't that well received, so I could see why they might cancel that. But Jessica Jones, which I still haven't watched the 3rd season, but I really like that series too. They canceled all these things. I heard Daredevil might be in Spider-Man, but that show is so dark I can't see that particular version of the Netflix Daredevil being on that show. But I think it's Nathan Fillion or whatever. He's the guy that everybody wanted to play Nathan Drake. He's from Firefly. Laura Bailey is in a ton of games. I'm trying to think of a game that she's in that's super popular, and I can't, even though she's in a ton of games. I know she's going to be in the new Last of Us 2. I know there's like, she's like in almost every game to some extent, and I can't think of one, and it really bothers me. If I said she was on Persona 5 and she played Rize, I believe, like most of you not Persona 5, Persona 4, most of you probably would not know who that is. But she's in a ton of stuff, and I'm drawing a blank. But for voice actors or actresses, she's right up there with Troy Baker and Nolan North. Like, they're like the 3 go-to people. But she's in a ton of games, and she also does voice acting. If you're Dragon Ball Z, I think she does the voice of like the kid version of Trunks, which I don't know anything about Dragon Ball Z. I just remember that was like a thing that she did. But so you have like really motion cap decent actors, and they're all likable. Like I have all the episodes of Firefly plus Serenity. I haven't watched them all. Everybody says how good it was. I saw like I remember when it came on, but I know the episodes didn't play in order, and I don't think they were all aired. And I wasn't really into sci-fi that much when it came out. I am now, but I don't know. A lot of people say Firefly is like the best show ever, and it shouldn't have been canceled. And I like other things I've seen him in, like he played like this Christian superhero dude on what the heck was that? It was called like Super. It had the dude that played Dwight Schrute, like Rainn Wilson. I think that's how you say his name, not Rian, like Rainn Wilson. That played Dwight. He was like this guy. He obviously had like some mental instability, and he becomes like a superhero. But it's like ultra, like the violence is ultra realistic and stuff like that. Even though it's a comedy, it's actually directed by gosh, I'm trying to think. James Gunn, who originally started his career in Trauma, and he wrote the Scooby-Doo movies. He wrote the Dawn of the Dead remake, which is okay. I'm not a huge fan. But he directed the Guardians of the Galaxy movies, which I absolutely adore. So it was kind of funny, like that was what he made before. That's why I found it shocking when he got in trouble for some questionable things he posted on Twitter. And it's like, what did Disney expect? I'm sure they probably knew about it. There's no way they couldn't have known about it based on like his career and his history and everything like that. I think that they originally fired him, which is a mistake because they rehired him again, is when everybody made a big fuss about the things that he said that he was just saying for shock value. And if you look at his career history and the people that he hung out with, like, and the types of movies that he made early on, like, it only makes sense that, I'm sorry, I'm fidgeting with a thumb drive thing. It only makes sense that he would do something like that, whether it was right or wrong. Like, I'm sure Disney knew about it. Wow, I went from the dude that you play with on this game all the way, because I think you're playing as the Luke Cage dude, which, man, that sucks that show got canceled. I really liked that show. I didn't get too much in Iron Fist. Even the Defenders that had like all the people in Netflix's Marvel shows, like it had Iron Fist, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Daredevil all in the same movie. I mean, all in the same series. I think it was only like 8 episodes. It was fairly short compared to the standalone shows. I even enjoyed that. Like, I feel like I got far in this game, but based on how familiar I was with this and everything, like, I don't know how far I got on this, to be honest with you. I really liked Halo 1. Halo 2 was alright. Halo 3 was pretty good. Halo 2 was alright just because it felt like there was a bigger game than what it was meant to be, and I guess it was kind of disappointing because the trailers kind of showed you like on these highways and everything, and you're on Earth and you spend very little time on Earth. They remastered and remade it basically on the Master Chief Collection. I played a little bit of it, but like my favorite Halos are Halo 1 and Halo 4, and this is more like Halo 4. I know a lot of people don't like Halo 4, and I heard a lot of people don't like Halo 5. It plays pretty well. One thing that's different in this one that I don't even think Halo 4 adopted it was you aim down the sights. Before, you would like, your aim down the sights button would be your grenade button, and like the way you would zoom in, it was weird. Like, you would click in the thumbstick and it wouldn't be like down the iron sights. It would just like almost be like this binocular zoom in view. It was really weird. But like, it's a beautiful game. I don't know what it looks like on the Xbox One, but this, as far as I know, runs in native 4K at 60 frames per second. This is one of the few games that really utilizes the Xbox One X's power. Of course, you would expect that considering it's a Microsoft exclusive. If Halo Infinite actually does end up coming on the Xbox One X, I'm curious how it'll look, because I think they showed the Series X footage, or what the footage would look like, and it looked pretty incredible. So I'm curious, and just everything. Like, I'm just really invested in the storyline. Halo 3 was good, but like towards the end I felt like the game got frustrating. But I feel like Halo 1 was like that too. And then I never finished Halo 2 because I let somebody borrow it because they wanted to play multiplayer and I wasn't playing it at the time. Like, I enjoyed what I played, but I was like getting kind of tired of like being in space all the time. And like, I don't know, like towards the end of the games the levels feel very similar. I'm basing this on memory, so I need to play the Master Chief Collection. If I ever cover the Master Chief's Collection, assuming that I do more recordings in the short future, or after, if I can keep my shit together and we all survive these things, if I do the Master Chief Collection, I'll probably do the games separately. What sucks about the Master Chief Collection is like they had updated versions of Reach, which they gave for free, but by the time I bought the game, like, it wasn't free anymore. It's like, I think it's like $15 or $10 or something like that. And then Halo Reach, which I think they upgraded that for the Master Chief. I know they upgraded that, and I think that one's like $20. And I'm like, if you own the disc, like, why don't they let you play the upgraded versions? Because I own the 360 versions of those games. But I mean, still, like, getting Halo 1, 2, 3, and 4 is pretty awesome. And have them, like, run at native 4K at 60 frames per second. And you're also getting the Xbox 360 remastered version, upgraded to 4K. Of Halo 1, and then brand new for the series is the remastered version of Halo 2. I don't play the game online. I heard there was a lot of issues when the game came out online, but if I cover that game, I'll probably cover the game separately so it's not a long ass video, and I don't want to cover them all at once anyway. Like, if I'm as stressed as I've been, and I'm sure I'll get more stress, I mean, knock on wood, hopefully that won't happen. I'm trying to do my best to stay sane and positive and everything. I'm trying to stay healthy and wash my hands and all this shit. But, you know, like, when you have OCD and anxiety and shit like that, no matter what you do, you always feel contaminated. Like, all I can compare it to, like, is, like, it feels like everything's covered in wet paint and you're not trying to get paint on you. If you've ever painted a house, or the inside of a house, or even did artwork with paint, no matter how hard you try, you always get paint on you. And that's what I feel like with germs. So it's driving me crazy. And even when I'm not thinking about stuff, like right now my anxiety's so bad, like I'll be watching a TV show or whatever, and then all of a sudden I'll feel like I can't breathe, and like my adrenaline goes up, and it feels like I'm going down an elevator like 500 miles per hour, and I have to like close my eyes and put my head down. This is like so sucky. It's not a way to live. Plus, I live by myself, so if anything did happen, I would be on my own. Like, it sucks. So if you guys have significant others or whatever, be nice to them and be thankful that you have somebody there with you, because it really sucks to deal with this shit by yourself, because there's never any reassurance. Like, if something happens, like, nobody's going to know about it until they realize they haven't heard from you in a while, and that's unsettling. But anyway, I hope you're all doing well. I'm sorry, this is kind of like a bummer video, but that's what's going on in my life right now. So stay safe, try to find things that you enjoy, try to stay positive. I know that's crazy coming from one of the most pessimistic, anxiety-riddled person ever, but I'm trying my best, and I hope you are too. Like, don't let this destroy you. Just be careful, do the best that you can. I hope you're all doing well and you all stay safe. This is a good game. Like, since we're all stuck at home, if you have an Xbox One, it might be worth checking out. It's a good game from what I played so far. I haven't finished it. Maybe it's terrible towards the end. I don't know. But I like it. And the Master Chief Collection, which I was talking about, even though I'm not covering that, that's good too if you like Halo. But you probably played those games if you like Halo. But they're better versions, especially on the Xbox One X, where they're more updated. But thank you so much for watching. I appreciate all your support and comments. Like, I don't give a shit about money or likes. Like, your comments and everything mean everything. Like, even though I'm making these videos for me, almost like documenting everything, I need to record these things like a diary, so I have them forever, instead of like if YouTube shuts down or goes off the grid, like they'll be lost forever, especially since YouTube seems to cater more and more to popular YouTubers. This game looks way better than it's probably going to look on YouTube, so if you really want to see what it looks like, check this game out after you're done watching this video, of course, on maybe a more popular channel that gets like the higher quality videos, like, so you can actually see what this looks like in higher quality, like maybe Digital Foundry made a video of it, I don't know. But thank you so much for watching. Please stay safe, stay sane, stay positive. Thank you so much for watching, and I will hopefully talk to you on the next video. Take care. Bye.
If you want to, like, comment, and subscribe.